Hold on. Give me a second here. Sometimes we do this at the end of the day when we're doing some scans. I set it up to stream to the social media. All right. So we're always going to look at the wide range wise, but let's look at Microsoft first. Yeah, I think there's better stuff, Alex. I mean, it'll probably go up if the market goes up, but you know, Amazon's better. At least it's got a retest of a pivot. That's definitely better. Definitely a put spread. If there's juice. Yeah. See? Now I think Robert asked about debit spreads. I don't see any problem with doing a debit spread with something like this. It makes sense, with premiums or whatever you're going to do, or, if you go out 2 weeks or however you're going to pick that. But, if this is going to go up, you got to make money. Yeah, Roberto asked, do you wait for pullback to enter after a breakout from a lateral move? In a bear market, 100% of the time. Better to miss it. Don't buy. Today you could have bought strength, but overall, this is not a market to buy strength. It's a market to buy pullbacks and sometimes deep pullbacks. See, this is into a mess. And in a bull market, you can buy breakouts. You can buy above the high of a wide range bar, stop below the low. Money management. This is a put spread. Probably don't have any premium. But, when you ask about a put spread, it could go up, but you see it's a weak stock. Maybe it's just going up today because the market's going up. It's not super liquid. I can see that. There's only 135,000. So that is not going to have premium. That's a put spread. See, it's just a mess overhead, but it's a $6 stock. But just pointing out the kind of patterns you would look for a put spread versus a directional. That's probably a better put spread one too. When you see the weekly here, maybe, hey, if the S&Ps are going to go up to 4,000, you should be able to throw a dart. I don't like this kind of pattern. That's already moved a heck of a lot. It's going to hit 100. That's a put spread. It's a put spread pattern. Wide range bar down, wide range bar up. Doesn't make sense to me as a directional. Now, this is something that could go up. It's a nice bottoming pattern. You see the 50 MA there? It should be like nothing. Should be like nothing. It's a bank. But I don't really gravitate much to stocks in this price range. I'd rather trade higher price stocks. Broadcom, there's a nice move. I mean, that's extended. It is coming into stuff. Stop it. This is something better for a 1, 2, 3 or like 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's a power bar. Have to be concerned, Nizar. You have to be concerned. This market is so fixated on it. And look, inflation isn't going away. It's not going to change from today into next week. It's just not. Whatever today's jobs numbers, the market's anticipating, I guess the Fed is closer to ending. I don't know. Market's going up today and the pattern suggests it should go up. As far as inflation goes, go to the supermarket and buy a steak. It's the same price as it was last week. That's high. Yeah. They're going to raise interest rates. We looked at the 13-week earlier, this morning. Look at that. It's getting wider. It's getting wider. So, I mean, would it make you got to trade the chart? Money management takes care of the risk. But, you see something like this and you hear people saying no recession. And historically, this is the best thing there is to dictate a recession, which leads me to think, is today a sucker rally? I don't know. Oh, no doubt of that, Dan. I mean, that should have been done, 20 minutes ago. All right. See, this scan is for put spreads. This means that there's two time frames chopping sideways. And you got to go through the symbols because none of these scans are set up to say this is going to be a perfect setup. Not one of them. All right. Put spread. That's probably, I would assume, if anything's going to have juice, it's an active stock, it's $100 stock. And this is something more that I would look at, put on a list for day trades for next week. Put spread. Wide range bottoming tail bar. Range expansion. That might take out the highs. I mean, it's got all that resistance there, but that shouldn't go down below 195. Yeah. Go out to next week, which is fine. Yeah, that's juicy. Open interest, not a big deal. Any big open interest? So there's an idea, Dan. Weekly options trader. 1, 2, 3s. I don't have 1, 1, 2, 3. How can you have a 1, 2? There shouldn't be really any 1, 2, 3s. Hey, when an update like this, yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably get a bottoming tail bars, 97 bottoming tail bars. Well, let's see volume. What the hell is that crap? Why is that even in there? See, it's got some support. You know what? You know what I don't really like about, I mean, it's into resistance. There's no range expansion bars on the 2 minute or the 5 minute. Can it go any higher today with a half hour to go? Might pull back for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then run up again if buyers, figured step in to hold over the weekend. There's kind of a W pattern right there. Soft edge technology. Lows. I'll set an alert, see if it goes up next week. Goldman Sachs next week. Debit spread, longs, put spread. Yeah. How many? I didn't see how many there are. 264. Mm. The drill down layout. Is that one you sent me? I didn't call it that. This one? Oh, weekly. Yeah, right here. So we got to go through the well, what did the best today? Materials did the best today. Interesting. Materials. Okay. So, you'd say the upside, can it get all the way back up to the high with a weekly chart that looks like that? I'm not so sure. But anyway, let's look. It's already moved. There you go. Of course, I don't like that, but it should get through it after consolidating this long. That resistance, not too far. That resistance, downtrend, resistance. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that little pivot, red bar ignored. That's a good one. Like a dog on a bone. There's a good one. Kind of the same thing, same sector. Right. Let's see, Vulcan Materials, packaging containers. That's building products. This is packaging and containers. But that's a lower price one. That's, yeah, I don't like the lower price ones, but it looks good. Sherman Williams. Nah, nah. DuPont. Gappy. There's a put spread kind of one. Got to start looking at earnings. Other than financials, probably not going to be much of anything, but you got to remember to keep looking. Right there. Okay, back to the top of the list. This is where I think things will do better than, right? Because it's beaten up. Well, that's a W kind of a pattern, right? Maybe not the cleanest one that you textbook out, but momentum down. It's on a gap and a reversal bar today. So wide range bars. A lot of wide range bars. Yeah. That should go up. See, with these setups, you basically have to ignore all of that. And it's just like, here's a stock that went down. You could see, whatever, came to that low area. Red bar ignored, reversal. It should go up. RYT. Equal weight tech. Okay, so this is where moving averages can play with your head because there's nothing to the left of them. So some of the same stocks in RYT. So Paychex is still at the top here. MTAP, semiconductor stock. There's a good one, Motorola. The reward to risk, but yeah, yep. So one of the things that I'm incorporating into the intraday seminar that I'm been working on more diligently lately in the trend section, you know, counter trend trades, I'm not putting any moving averages because you don't need them. It's extended. And they're not going to play with our heads because we ain't going to look at them. You know, if you want to put anything on there, put a 20 MA, but counter trend trade, it's extended. Is it at support? You got a pattern. Ideally a W. You don't need moving averages. 5-minute chart, trend trades, 20, 60, 200. That's a put spread. A line chart. I use a line chart, not on everything, but no, I like line charts. I like, even I have, so on my monitors that on the other, the screens that I use on my desktop, and I've got different sections with all set up, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 set up for trades. And I've got one set up there that has a line chart and, with the other time frames. And it's like looking for the exact same thing. And why do I do that? Because I don't want to be influenced by the candles.
But Greg, I'm asking on Intuit, do it now or Monday? I'm gonna do the 360s. I think
It's a put spread. It's a put spread. That thing should never take out the low of the day. So, if it gaps up, hopefully, maybe you get 50%. I don't know, because with that many days left expiration, but who knows what's going to happen on Monday. I can take a picture of it, and I can post it. Yeah. Lift. I don't like that. It's that resistance. Wow. So I would never, and I've seen this before, I would just never expect that to do that. So, you have to have some kind of reasonable expectation of a possible move. What the hell make that move that way? This has got earnings at the end of the month, Sam. Yeah. Micron. This is what I mentioned yesterday, I think, Alex, with that Rambus thing. I was like, I don't think it was this, but I said, what, when we all those big plus tick readings, and I see this dog was going up. But look at that. Nice wide range bar on the weekly. I mean, sure looks like these semiconductors are turning around. There's a nice W. Intel. You want to a big stop under the lows.
And that's something like that. I would also go way out to sell naked puts if there's juice, but yeah, you can do both.
See, Dan, this is the kind of pattern that I wouldn't mind you using the word core on, because it's, it's Intel. So not that it can't go down more, but geez, it's been decimated. It's on support. It's a weekly chart, not a daily chart. And it is going to deal with this mess to the left. But a starter position with a stop under the lows. I like it. This has got more work to do. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't buy Meta just on principle. Other than a day trade. There's a big bottom. It's gonna hit the wall up here. Yeah, yeah. This went private at one time, and then I think it went public again. I don't know why, but I guess to make money for some reason. Why else would they do it? AVGO exploded today. Right? Looking for that. I mean, Dan, you probably there's more put spreads than you could possibly even want to throw out there.
That's what I said. I sent a telegram at 1:30 saying it's gonna be galore, put spread galore.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of pattern that we could look back at this in 6 months and it could be at the 200 MA or higher. Yeah, I heard that one up today. I guess the guy, McMahon, is coming back. Was he thrown out at some point? Tesla possibly bottomed. Yeah. You know, it kind of looked like it was heading way down here, but anyway, it's on this support. You know, it's the start. It's the start of trying to make a bottom. Look at the volume. Well, he was forced to resign. Get a better result if your wide range bar is above the moving average and in an upward slope. Well, unless that's similar to saying, Stephen, you know, any kind of a bullish setup is going to work better in an uptrend than a downtrend. You know, which is understandable. But things that are beaten down like this, I mean, this isn't going to be a core trade. But percentage wise, I mean, if this thing turns up from here and hits the 20 MA, percentage wise, that's going to be a big move. Oh, well, like I said, this is going to hit the wall next week. I mean, you got 4 pivot highs up there. So when it gets there, can it absorb the supply? Everything in the MTS course or the swing course covers different scenarios as to this is the pattern, this is what it should do. The 50 MA is up. Well, it's flat. Remember, moving averages, we call them visual aids. This is in a sideways trend. This is a wide range bar. Obviously, if it can clear this, the 50 MA will turn up. And so that's not in here. TX, STX, STX. Oh, what it could be. I guess it could be in QQQ. Well, I'm looking for a sector that it's in. Computer systems technology. So, all right, so here it is. All right, so this is what shows us it's above the 50, but the 20 is not above the 50, and the 20 is not sloped up. So, I mean, this just gives you a pretty, quick overview as to which ones look better. And, so the ones with all green check marks like that, right? If that can clear those highs, right, that could make a decent move. This one, here you go. It's too thinly traded, but that's the idea of this minder. Is finding, what is just as a quick look at what is stronger in this computer systems and WDC. Punt. I saw that before. Yeah. Moving up. Yeah, that's a bottoming pattern, bottoming for months. Diversified holdings. Yeah, that's too far away. Bottoming tail bar took out the low. Generators. Oh yeah. They're always running ads down here. Yeah, I guess they have all kinds. They have big ones where you connect it into the house. No, Steve. It'll go up all by itself, and it'll drag the 50 MA with it. It's going to clear these highs. 50 MAs don't, any moving average doesn't dictate how something will go up. You're just looking at something and saying, is it already moving up? The question is, if it's already moving up, is it into a void? So while it has pivot highs here and here, this breakdown failures and this retesting that one, and it's close to this one. I mean, I'd look at this and I'd say, well, it might stop at 110 because, it's the next 10, 110, just that number. But look, and I'll tell you, thinking that because the 50 MA is sloping up, it's okay. No freaking way with a bottoming pattern. These things rocket up and they look amazing and they crash back down again. Don't fall in love with bottoming patterns. I'm not saying don't trade them, just don't fall in love with them. But this is a nice one. You know, I fall in love with topping patterns then? Well, yeah. When let's say something that's been leading the way up, what was it? Maybe let's say this thing runs up to 125 bucks or so. And that SPX that I mentioned gets up to 4,000, give or take. On look, I'll show you. Look at this. I've been mentioning this for a couple of weeks in the advisory letter because things are so erratic with this sideways action. But look at this. This is significant. I'm sorting this by open interest. And look at the open interest in the puts and the calls. And look below, around it. There's nothing that big. This is like monster. So the tendency, the idea behind that is it could run up there and get it pinned. So that's 100 points in the S&P 500, and the 200 MA media starts talking about the 200, but I mean, it could run up there, hit that wall. It's probably just going to get stuck there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I've been mentioning this for a couple of weeks and, it's 14 days. We've got 2 weeks. So as long as this doesn't break all the way back down, we have to think long. Bit out of your wheelhouse, like over a month. Are you talking to me or Dan? So I'm just talking this month.
Oh, he's talking about Intel. I did February. 'Cause
Oh,
I made the comment when I get a big, beautiful reversal on a weekly. I said, I don't mind going farther out. But I said, pick whatever strike and expiration you want. It's not, I'm more picky on my timing of entries, for dailies. And this thing's up 7 days. So it's not ideal unless you're trading the weekly chart and you're giving it that big old stop. And so that's why I said, well, I just do a way out of the money, naked put an add on a pullback. So that's the reasoning, Rob.
all right. I think we've scanned enough, huh, Dan?
Wow, look at our LUV. I sold naked puts on that this morning. Wow. I think I'm gonna take my money. Well, half. I got
Alex, when is your operation? If I can ask. You said you were going for the blood test today. PSA. What does that mean?
so
I didn't say what it was for. I said when. Okay.
yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, that's it for the day. I'm totally done.
He'll be fine. He's a survivor. I mean, Alex, I think I'm sure there are others, but I really got concerned when you went into the emergency room and they put you on one of those incubators with that corona thing. So many people I've heard don't come back from that. COVID 3 times. I think you've had your share, your fair share. Stop hogging them. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I saw this week in the Miami Herald, they're talking about an increase in corona. You know, it was like honestly, it was actually like an advertisement. They talked about, oh, there's been a pickup in corona reports, viruses. So maybe it's a good time to go get your booster. Like, yeah, right. I'm going to split out of here 5 minutes early. Don't dock me. That, Rich, and I would tell anybody I was resistant to inject myself with anything. I don't care what the doctor says. But that shingles thing, I got a mild case of it, and I wish I had got the injection. So if you haven't gotten a shingles shot, consider it. Once you get over, I think they said 50 or so, 50 something, you're susceptible to it.
Oh, then I have 6 more years to worry about it.
What?
Our Marriott Naked Foot's doing great too.
Mm.
Those expired at full profit. We sold puts down here on this cap up day. That'd be Tuesday, so it went against us a little bit, but that's beautiful, beautiful put candidate. Clima will turn and support.
Just finished my coffee that I made at 9 o'clock this morning.
Wow, we can do. Here, we can do one for next week, the 147. 142. $0.50. Well, I'm gonna nibble, but I'll wait for Monday for them. Yeah, Manuel did a nice SMH earlier today.